Okay, looking at lesson 6 that we did today on geometric means, you're talking here about the formula that we talked about, which was mean up, mean down. So the mean goes on top and the mean goes on bottom. Okay, and you can do that either way. I know whenever we do our formula, a lot of times they'll switch and we'll have them down on the bottom and up on the top. It does not matter. Okay, so like for problem number 1 here, find the geometric mean. So they want the mean up and the mean down, okay, between these two numbers. So in other words, you're going to have the mean on the top and the mean on the bottom. Okay, so when you cross multiply here, you're going to get x squared is equal to 64. So when we take the square root, we're going to get that the geometric mean is 8. Okay, same thing for number 2. So the mean goes up and the mean goes down, and then you fill in your numbers. So we're going to cross multiply again and get x squared equals 35 and take the square root. 35 won't break down, so we're just going to leave our answer as the square root of 35. Okay, let's jump over here to number 4. Again, so mean up, mean down, and then fill in your numbers. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply. So that's going to give me x squared, and then I'm going to multiply 2 square root of 3 times 3 square root of 3, which is going to give me 2 times 3 gives me 6, and square root of 3 times square root of 3 gives me 3. So I have x squared equals 18. Now this time we do have to break down our radical. So for 18, we're going to use 9 and 2. So our geometric mean is going to be 3 square root 2. All right, moving on to the next part, okay? You're trying to find the value of x and y here, okay? So this is going to be the second part of your notes today, which was based on the triangle's height. Okay, so just like the mean song, we're going to go with height up, height down. So the height here is going to be y. So height up, height down. Okay, and then it's height up, height down, segment 1, then segment 2. So segment 1 here is going to be 6, and segment 2 is going to be 2. Cross multiply, so y squared is equal to 12, and then break down 12 whenever you take the square root into y is going to equal 2 square root of 3. All right, for x, sorry, for x, I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can do that here, okay? I'm going to start by just looking, now that I know y, I can look right here at just a right triangle where I know the 2 legs, and I can use Pythagorean theorem. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared would be x in our situation, a can be 2, and b can be 2 square root of 3. All right, if you work this out, you're going to get, if you type that into your calculator, you're going to get 4 plus 12, which is 16. And then you take the square root, and x is going to equal 4. Okay, that's using Pythagorean theorem. Okay, but the second part of your notes today, or the third part, we talked about the third song that we had, which is leg up, leg down, hypotenuse, piece, hypotenuse. So right now that you know this is your leg of this large triangle. So your leg would go up, your leg would go down. The hypotenuse piece is the piece that's attached to that part of the triangle. So in this situation, that would be 2. And then the whole hypotenuse would be 6 plus 2, which is 8. Okay, those can be switched, it does not matter. So when you cross multiply now, you get x squared equals 16. So still when you take the square root, you're going to get to the same answer of 4. Okay, so it just depends on which way you want to do that there. I'm going to try to use the songs as much as I can in our homework just to make sure that we're remembering those. Okay. All right, so like here on number 7, I don't know the height yet. Okay. Um, okay. But I can, in fact, find the height using that song as well. So height up, height down. I don't have to though. X nor Y are on my height. Okay. So let's try the other formula. Let's go leg up, leg down. So let's look at Y. So we'll go leg up, leg down, hypotenuse piece, hypotenuse. Okay, and this is number 7. I did skip number 6 in there, so make sure you're with me. Okay, so now when I cross multiply, I get that y squared equals 36, so therefore y is going to equal 6. Okay, now you can do the same formula, leg up, leg down. This is your hypotenuse piece, and still 9 is your hypotenuse, and you still cross multiply. And you get 3 radical 5. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to try to use the songs as much as I can. Once you had found y here, you could have found the height right here, and then you could have done Pythagorean theorem to get x. It's completely up to you. There's several options on triangles. All right, jump down to number 9. Okay, so I'm going to look right here to find x. I'm going to do height up, height down. So my height is 5. Segment 1 and segment 2. Okay, so now when you cross multiply, you get 5x is equal to 25, so x just equals 5. And now you can tell me right here, let's go back, you can tell me right here if the two legs are the same, 45, 45, 90 has two legs the same, leg times the square root of 2 is hypotenuse length, so y should equal 5 radical 2. Okay. All right, let's talk about this one because this one's going to be a little bit tricky for you. Okay, notice if I did height up, the height's not one of the things we're looking for. If I did hypotenuse and hypotenuse piece hypotenuse, I don't know the whole hypotenuse, but I can find it because of this right triangle right here. Okay, I'm sorry, not that one, the large one. Because of this right triangle right here, I've got the two legs, so I'm going to do c squared equals 9 squared plus 12 squared, which is going to give me 225, which gives me c is equal to 15. So now I know that my whole hypotenuse down here is 15. Okay, so if I use the 12, okay, so leg up, leg down, hypotenuse piece would be x and hypotenuse will be 15. So now we're going to cross multiply. 15x is going to equal 144. Okay, and when you divide there, x does in fact equal 9.6. Okay, so now I know x is 9.6, and that's all I was looking for in that situation. I just had one unknown. Okay, but then from there you could find the other piece of this half, or you could find the height if you needed to. Okay. So let's look now at number 14. Okay, so if I was working on this one, even though I don't need this piece, I'm going to find this piece first, okay? And the reason I'm going to find that piece is because I already have the height here, so I can go height up, height down, okay? Segment 1, and then we'll make this our segment 2. Okay, so that's going to give me 2y is equal to 100, so therefore y is equal to 50. So now I know this side, and now I can do Pythagorean theorem to find my missing side if I wanted to. Okay, or you could do leg up, leg down, hypotenuse, piece, hypotenuse. So if you did leg up, leg down, then X would be your leg. So leg up, leg down, hypotenuse piece will be 50, and the whole hypotenuse would be 70. So you'd have X squared, sorry, ran out of room. X squared is going to equal to 3,500, and then you need to break down the square root of 3,500. Okay? All right, same thing here on number 15. I would go ahead and find the whole hypotenuse here because you've got 12 squared, 12 squared. So that's a 45, 45, 90. So it's going to be the 12 square root of 2 is going to be this value. So now you have hypotenuse piece and hypotenuse. Okay? So leg up, leg down. So 12 and 12. Hypotenuse piece will be X and the hypotenuse will be 12 square root of 2. So now you just cross multiply here.